Hi, gang. I'm going to start with I'm just so mentally and physically drained. I and beyond that, the figurative, beyond sick and tired of the same old you know what pile out of our state capitals and Washington, D.C. First, I want to talk about schools, school funding, education, school choice, but first, the Save America Act. I am so bleeping tired and fed up that it can't get through the Senate. They keep playing games, and the Schumer shutdown. I got a whole other video exclusive see on that. But similarly, I've lost my train. I'm so tired. The Save America Act. Yes. There are parts, perhaps, they could fund IDs and require them to vote if they fund them through a reconciliation package, which would only require 51 votes in the Senate. But of course, the rhinos won't do that. But they shouldn't have to. And let me cut them a break here. They shouldn't have to. 80% of all people, including basically any and every poll, 70% of Democrats agree that the Schumer Pelosi racist argument that black people are either too lazy or too stupid to be able to get an ID, ridiculous. They got IDs for everything else. It's not difficult. Most states where there is a requirement, there's no cost available IDs. So there's not a cost barrier. And states that make you bend over backwards to make it easier to get them, but yet still we need to assure it requires citizenship. Black people are not too lazy or too stupid to be able to get a birth certificate if they do not already have one. It's real simple to get them. Also, the left's sexist argument, women who get married, you're too stupid to be able to have your birth certificate and your marriage license to make sure your registration is correct and you've proven your citizenship with the certificate and your legal registered name to vote matches your new married name if it's changed from your maiden name via the marriage certificate. You're too stupid, according to the Democrats, to be able to understand how to use those documents. Enough! Enough! When are you all going to call the commie fascist sociocrats, senators, and demand they get on board to pass the Save America Act that 80% of all peoples agree with? It's absurd. But I'm going to pivot what I really wanted to talk to you about here. Another issue that, again, more and more and more people agree with. We are sick and tired of what brought this on. Let me back up. Maria Barf, as I call her, Harf. Maria Barf was on Outnumbered today, and they were talking about school choice, school reforms. The left, The commie-fascist sociocrats insist stealing more money from all us taxpayers to funnel to public teachers' unions that decade after decade after decade keep getting paid more and more and more money to do less and less and less education. They're all for throwing money at an issue, but when it comes to letting you keep some of your own money so you can use your money to pick a private school or pick a choice charter school or put some of that to homeschooling expense. Oh, no. Then throwing money at that's just throwing money at the issue, and we can't do that. That's what you do all the time. What you are objecting to, of course, is choice. That dodge you use for murdering babies. That's not a choice. That's murdering an innocent life. But any other thing, like lifting the ban on incandescent bulbs, oh, no. And yes, okay, blame G.W. Bush for that. But that doesn't mean it can't be undone. I did not oppose a shift towards CFLs, but you should have choice. I was against banning the incandescents. We should have a choice. The left, no, you don't get a choice. School, no, you don't get a choice. What you can eat, what the kids can eat in school, no, you don't get a choice. They are not about choice ever, except to use that facade of a term for murdering a child in the womb. So we want to put money back in parents' hands so they can choose a good school where there's actual education going on versus softcore porn peddling, pedophilia, dumbing down DEI manure, the new R's, as I call it, if you've not heard me say that. Radicalism, raunch, perversion, and racism through CRT. Martin Luther King Jr., they're not teaching content of character rather than skin tone anymore. No, CRT, they are insisting on racism and identity politics. They're not moving away from it. They're fanning the flames of it. Enough. And you want to send, or if, like me, my wife and I never had kids. I don't have kids. And if we did, they'd be out of school by now. But beside the point, for those who don't have kids, know people who do have kids, we want you to be able to pick a good school where your child will get an actual education rather than all the superfluous extracurricular outside of the original core arts, reading, writing, arithmetic, history, and even the non-R subjects. We need economics. We need a return to civics class, history class, not the bogus social studies, cultural Marxist warped opinion theory garbage, actual history, actual civics. The Bradford Colony, before it's news, tinyurl.com, Bradford Colony History. I think that's it. I hope that's the right shortcut. But yes, but tinyurl.com/JLD on B4. I am the number 4 in there. Before it's news, the Bradford Colony History, the Communist Compact. They tell you All our kids can cite, oh yeah, the Mayflower Compact. They can't tell you the details. The Communist Compact, before Marx ever came along and thought he invented the idea, we tried communism on American soil, and it failed like it does every time, everywhere. And Bradford, since they almost all starved to death, pivoted from communal property to individual property ownership rights, collective rights to individual rights and responsibilities. Oh, can't expect anyone to have any morals and values and be responsible for themselves. No, a welfare net, not a welfare hammock. And our founders knew that, and hence the Republic was born on those principles and values. Biblical community, free will, voluntary responsibility, wanting to take care of each other, versus worldly communism, where you are forced to do things. Big difference. Biblical community, like this show is about, versus the left, Marxist, communist, commie, fascist, socialist. This isn't the 1930s anymore, if you've not heard me say this before, where the National Socialists, NSDAP, they were socialists before people started calling them fascists. The same with the El Duce fascists were socialists. The Franco Spaniards, socialists, fighting against Moscow-backed communists. They were fighting that. Today, they are all one and the same. They are all Antifa. It was a Moscow-backed communist movement. It wasn't fighting big government. It was fighting for their brand of big government. They're not anti-fascist today. They are just anti-republic, anti-democracy, anti-Judeo-Christian values republic. They want all-encompassing dictatorial control out of D.C. over all the states. Anti-federalist. Don't get me started on that. TheLibertyBeacon.com, I've got pieces on that. Federalism is almost an oxymoron term. Federalism was supposed to mean a small federal government. The states formed the federal government, not the other way. The states have power over the federal government, not the other way. But today's fascia federalists, as I call them, want dictatorial control out of D.C. over all the states. Completely the opposite of what our nation was founded on. That's today's left. Commie, fascist, sociocrats, communists, socialists, fascists, all want more big government, complete control over everybody. Anarchy's on the other side, and because Antifa, I've said this over and over, I'm getting blue in the face trying to explain it to people that don't get it yet. You probably already know what I'm going to say. Anarchy is far right. No one I know is a real anarchist, where there is no government. Every man, woman, and child for themselves. No rules, no laws. Do what you want. You are your own God. An atheist government. That's why anarchy came out of the atheism of Russia. Atheism came out of Russia, but it isn't communism. It is on the right. It is no government. No one I know wants no government. We all understand there has to be some government, but limited and controlled. Constitutional republic government is what we want. The left, communism, fascism, socialism, monarchies, whatever else, all left, where one or a few rule over all. That's the left. The right is total anarchy, and no one, just because Antifa may use tactics often associated with anarchists, does not make them anarchists. Fox News, stop calling them anarchists. They are not no government anarchists. They call themselves anti-fascists, but they are fascists. They want complete control, full federal government control over you. Just because they use anarchist-like tactics doesn't make them anarchists. I'm tired of this. Tired of the stupid. And why? Back to education. Because we don't teach civics. We don't teach history. We need economics 101 in high school. We need to make sure everyone has an accounting 101 class in high school. They don't understand basic economics. They don't understand basic accounting. You have to look at both debits and credits, spending and income. Income doesn't solve all the problem. Growth alone won't solve all our problems if we don't stop spending like worse than drunken sailors. But no one understands baseline budgeting. Again, one of my early pieces at Before It's News, tinyurl.com/JLD on B4IN for Before It's News. Baseline budgeting. They don't understand basic math because we have Common Core math. They don't understand civics or history because we have theoretical cultural Marxist rewrite social studies theory classes instead. We need real education, and the left opposes you having any of your own money to make those decisions for yourself. They claim to be about choice, but no, they want you forced and locked in to that failing public school. Now, that's not to say some public schools aren't good. Some of them are. Some of them are. Most of them are not. Sorry, and you should be able to decide. You should have a choice. But Maria Barth, Chucky Schumer, Nancy Pelosi absolutely opposes you having any choice at all in this matter. At the same time, the hypocrites send all their kids to private schools. They don't want their kids in the public school, but they want to force you to put your children in them. Okay, I think I've ranted and raved enough. Again, I'm emotionally and physically tired. Time for me to go take a nap now. Seriously, I'll stop this. I'll get it up on my video channels, and then I need a nap. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Bottom line, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you calling? Are you writing letters to your representatives or to a local newspaper venting your complaint? Your letter might not get printed, but if a dozen people send a similar kind of complaint, likely one of them will actually make the paper or the online version of the paper on the internet, since papers have almost all but disappeared. I saw a local news hero the other day. It's like, are you kidding me? There's more paper in the Valpak coupon thing that shows up every day, once a month at the door through the mail. Anyway, what are you doing? Are you calling? Are you writing? Are you talking to your neighbors about it? Are you supporting candidates who really mean what they say. Because that's the other thing. All the senators, oh, we should not be on Easter recess. We need to be, we've got the Save America Act and we got the Schumer shutdown, FEMA, HSA funding that needs to be addressed. But so we should be in DC, not home. But where are they complaining from? Home. They're not still in DC. They're home. They went home. 100 senators saying we should still be in DC doing the job. We should not be on Easter recess. Well, if all 100 of them actually meant it, they would be in DC doing their job that they've spent the last month for sure with the government shutdown not doing their jobs. They're shuffling people pretending they've been doing their jobs. Most of them mouth the words, but like voting, they say it, they don't mean it. I don't care what they say. I care what they do, like Uncle Festerman. I'm tired of it. Yeah, he voted to confirm Mullen to replace Kristi Noem. Noem didn't need to go. Pam Bondi needs to go. John Thune, as leader of the Senate, needs to go. But they're all out of town. They're not there. They say it. Festerman voted to, but he voted against Kennedy. He voted against Hegseth after saying, oh, yeah, a president deserves and has the right to have the cabinet of their choice. Then proceeded to vote against most of them being confirmed. He says a lot of good things. His votes in Washington are what's matter, and 95% of the time he votes as his masters, Chucky Schumer and George Soros, tell him to. So I don't care what Festerman says. I care what he does. He has to go. When are you people in Pennsylvania going to wake up to the lies again? Most of them, not all of them, there are some good ones. Say one thing, do another. Don't care what you say. I care what you're doing. I'm watching. Sadly, far too many people are not watching what's going on. Oh, again, if 100 senators really meant, oh, we shouldn't have left town, we should be in, you would still be there. You're a liar. And we know you're a liar. So what candidates with a proven track record of actually being a real conservative Republican or constitutionalist are you working for? Are you giving your time and your money to help get elected to replace a commie-fascist sociocrat or a rhino Republican? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm on disability. I'm on my couch. Unfortunately, what can I do from my couch? I can do a show like this. I can write books. I can't be out at rallies like I used to be. I can't afford to give to candidates. I can't be on candidate committees like I was out there working for candidates for in the past. I'm old and have health issues and I'm on disability. But those of you who are not, what are you doing other than whining? Now, it may look like all I'm doing is whining, but unfortunately, I'm in the health position and financial position. That's all I can do. The rest of you aren't in that boat. What are you doing? What are you doing? I was on with the Conscious Man 7 the other day. That will air, I think, in April or May. I'm sorry, I know I'm dragging it. We need a man in the mirror moment, right? Remember the network movie, go to the window, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Well, no one expects anyone to do that. But I literally expect you to go to your bathroom and look in the mirror and have an honest conversation with yourself. Point the finger, and remember, when you're trying to blame others, the old saying about 3 of your own fingers pointing back. What are you doing? My whole life and living series of books is about what are we? It starts with us. No such thing as perfect. We could all do more. We could all do better. What are you doing? Not saying, doing to be better, to be part of it. Rick Springfield song, right? If you're not part of the solution, yeah, we all know how that goes. If you're not doing things to be part of the solution, you're part of the problem. What are you doing? Okay, I dragged this out enough. Now, school choice, the Save America Act, what are you doing? Mirror moment. I'm serious about this. I'm serious about that. Don't open your window and yell, I'm mad as hell, I'm not going to take it anymore. Because anyone who does that doesn't mean it. They're just screaming into the wind, but then they go back to their couch and do nothing. Go to your mirror and say, what are you doing? Yes, what am I doing? What can I do? Not wait for everybody else, not leave it to Donald Trump. We are not, despite the left's idiotic No Kings rally, we don't have a king. One person can't do it. You must be involved. What are you doing? I'm not saying every minute of every day, but at least here and there, what are you doing? Tough love, I know. I'm sorry. But the Bible, tough love, like my tough love song. And I'll tack it on to this. If I take away the thorns out of the story, it's not the same story. The tough love parts of the Bible matter. And me preaching tough love to you here is part of reality. I'm not promising unicorn fart fantasy like the left. I'm dealing in reality here. Are you going to join me in that reality? What are you doing? Seriously. Tough question. Answer it honestly. Look yourself in the bathroom mirror and answer it honestly. Take care. God bless. Love you all.
It ain't all sweet songs by the fire, warm hands, soft words, pretty choirs. If I cut out the thorns from the story, I'd be dressing up a grave as glory. This is tough love gospel, not just campfire shine. If I sand down the edges, I turn truth into a lie. Reality or delusion, I can't serve both sides. I'm not here just for the choir, I'm here where the hurt hearts hide. Yeah. Some pages bleed red in the margins, hard lines, hard calls, hard bargains. If I skip over storms for your comfort, then your house gets washed in the flood water. This is tough love gospel, not just campfire shine. If I sand down the edges, I turn truth into a lie. Reality or delusion, I can't serve both sides. I'm not here just for the choir, I'm here where the hurt hearts hide. Oh, do you want a dream or do you want a mirror? Do you want a joke or do you want it clearer? If the truth cuts deep, let it cut through fear. Better scars that heal than a sweet lie in your ear. This ain't cotton candy truth, ain't a campfire sing-along rhyme. You can't sell sweet dreams while the house burns behind. If it never cuts deep, it was sugar all along. If you skip the hard pages, you just rewrote the song. This is tough love gospel. good lines while your neighbor breaks inside. Quote hope like a slogan and look away from the crime. But a bandage on a bullet wound is a pretty little lie if the truth never offends us. Did we ever even try? This is tough love gospel, not rainbows on a wire. If you hide the hard word, you're just fanning the fire. I won't preach delusion just to make it sound lighter. If I only soothe the choir, I'm a singer, not a fighter. I'd rather lose that crowd than sell them painted grace. I'd rather stand alone and smile and dodge the weight. Don't ask for easy comfort, then curse the honest cost. Love that never warns you will leave you more than lost. This is tough love gospel, not rainbows on a wire. If you hide the hard words, you're just fanning the fire. I won't preach delusion just to make it sound lighter. If I only soothe the choir, I'm a singer, not a fighter. Oh, if I dress up the danger, I'm a liar, not a writer. Tough love. The Bible isn't just rainbows and lollipops, singing kumbaya around the campfire. You cannot ignore the harsh reality drops. To peddle such makes you a liar. Reality versus delusion, speaking not just to the choir. This, that, and in all things transpires.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist Podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.